want my version?
Go ahead.
Oh, I hired her, fired her, and I felt sorry for her, so I married her.
Lies. He did hire me. I was in college, and I needed a job, and my friend Betty knew him and said, go over to him. He'll give you a job. And he did. And then 4 months later, we were married, but he did not fire me. I had to quit because you can't be married in the company. I'm Christie Neuenschwander, and I've been a part of the parish since Easter Vigil 2019 when I became a Catholic.
Same for me. I'm Terry. Same for me. 2019 Easter Vigil when I came into the church.
I'm involved with Madonna Circle. I'm on the board there. We bring our little niece, our great niece, to church every Sunday.
Almost every Sunday.
Almost every Sunday. We come to a lot of events, and then Terry really does more of the stuff than I do.
I'm always here bothering you. I'm involved with the Knights of Columbus. It's a big part of my life. I do a lot for them, and so I'm involved with the local council here at St. Michael's. A good group of guys that we have there, and then whatever else the parish needs. I come up here almost every day just to ask what you guys need, because I think it's, the Knights of Columbus are the right arm. We always say we're the right arm of the parish, and we've got to make sure that the parish is taken care of, Father's taken care of, and we're here to help with whatever we need to do. So,
but a plug for Madonna Circle, great organization. They do a lot in the Memphis community, and it's a great way to get to know your sisters in Christ. He was a hard worker, and he was very good. Just naturally nice. And he was interested. Our son, I actually had him when I was 16. So Terry adopted him soon after we were married. And he was interested in him. He was interested in me. And he fixed my car one time. And he bought me a Mother's Day gift. And he was just different. And he was grown up, I was 19 and he was 24. So he had like a real life, a real job.
And a motorcycle.
Yeah, he did, actually. That's not very grown up, but...
It was fun.
Yeah. Well, I had a convertible.
Yeah.
That was fun. What impressed you about me?
Oh, that's put me on the spot. Her natural beauty. Her wisdom. She's very smart. Still very smart. And he had a good work ethic too. So, pretty driven person. That's why.
Well, thanks.
You're welcome.
I was hardcore Church of Christ. And I said, if you're going to marry me, you're going to have no beer. You're going to have to go to church every Sunday. And we can't get divorced. So.
Yep. Because I really didn't grow up in any church like you did. So It was kind of helped me out. Starting the path, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we went to Ross Road Church of Christ, and those people there were some of the very first people who showed me that you could really, really love Jesus, and that he really loved you. Like Richard Coram and Kip Long, and they're very Bible-centered. So, we learned our Bible. So it was a good foundation. Yeah. And Churches of Christ believe in baptism that's regenerative, and they don't believe that communion is the body and blood of Christ, but they're very serious about it, which was a good primer to become Catholic.
Then we went there too. Then we left there and went to a couple community churches, and then the Episcopal Church in Carville. Mm-hmm. And Father Jeff led us here. Mm-hmm. Sent us to Father Ben, and Father Ben says, "You better get in here." Sure. So,
maybe to you.
Maybe to me, but yeah. Now it's here. My biggest thing about becoming Catholic was, yes, I was kind of hesitant at first, but I had to go back and research it and understand why. And then you go back in the Bible and you see Christ started the church through Peter, and Peter's the rock of the church, and it's the only religion that has history all the way back to Christ. There's not another religion out there, or denominations, or whatever you want to call it, that has that. So that's what really hit home for me, and I told you that. That's what really hit home for me is that there. One of the things.
Our best friend's daughter was being baptized, and at the Church of Christ that we went to, and her family's Catholic, and they had come, and then we all went to lunch together afterward, and they were talking about how great our church was. Like, the sermon was great, the music was great, but they could never leave the Catholic Church because of the Eucharist. And I didn't know that word. It's kind of a foreign word to me, and I'm like, what do you mean? And they said, you can only have that where we are. And I was like, that's kind of weird, you really believe that Christ is present in that? And they're like, yeah. And so that got me thinking and researching and reading all kinds of things. But to become Catholic to me was just unimaginable. I like anything but. And so anyway, we eventually, our church decided it was non-denominational, and they got wackier and wackier. And so a friend of ours invited us to an Episcopal church, and they're very Anglo-Catholic, and we went, and I was like, wow, this is what I've been waiting for my whole life, like liturgy. I'd never been exposed to liturgy ever. Didn't even know that word either. I didn't even know I was a Protestant, actually. And I had no idea about all this stuff. But anyway, it just really spoke to me. I'd never been exposed to the creed, and there I'd be saying it, and then eventually, like, I started thinking, is this the one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church?
And then went to Paris.
And we went to Paris because our son was in Germany with the Air Force, and we decided to go to Paris for a few days before we went to go see him as tourists, nothing more. And we went to Sacré-Cœur. Yep. And because we've been going to the Episcopal Church, we kind of knew the form of what was going on, and we knew enough that we could go up and cross our arms and receive a blessing. So we did. And when we both sat down, we were in tears. And I felt like the Holy Spirit had said it was okay to be here. And then I emailed my Episcopal priest and said, I think I'm having a nervous breakdown or a midlife crisis because I can't do this. And he said, nope, you're looking for the ancient church. And he said, there's about 5 priests I would trust you with in Memphis. And he gave me a list, and Father Ben was one of them. And he's the one that got back to me, and he's the one that led us through the process.
Yep.
And that's why we drive from Collierville.
That's why we drive 30 minutes to St. Michael's. We talked about it before we made changes. I mean, before we moved to Episcopal Church. We were there for 3 years. Yeah, we had conversations about it and see if it was, best for the family, the best that we both needed to have. And I'd agree upon it. So I trust her wisdom on things. She reads more than I do, but I still do my own research on it as well.
And Father Jeff Marks, he was like it was like going to seminary in Sunday school. Yeah. I learned so much. And that was the other thing, was just blowing my mind all the time. Yeah. I was like, what? And so then I started reading church fathers, and then I actually read a biography about Martin Luther, and that I was like, oh my gosh. Oh, wow. This is what I was a part of. No, I don't want that. Yeah. Now I see why this was a mistake.
Yeah, we learned a lot as we, I guess, went through the stages, but I guess the biggest stage we learned the most was probably at St. Andrews. Mm-hmm.
But the thing that sealed the deal was in Paris. Yeah. It was like the thing that let my heart be free to accept it.
And then we went to Notre Dame, too, after that, and just looked at that, the cathedral there. It was just amazing to see even the relics, the relic of Christ there. And that was another thing, I think, for me that even drew me more into it and wanted to know more about it. It's how does this church have all this stuff? Like I said earlier, have all these relics and everything, and nobody else does. So how can you not be Catholic? It's right there.
We're going to try to go back in 2028 because it'll be 10 years. It was incredible and scary and turn your life upside down, but in the best, most beautiful way.
Yeah, there's some family.
Yeah, it's hard because I mean, his family, not so much. Mine is like lost my salvation kind of thing. So it was hard enough transitioning into Catholic culture because Protestants they worship differently. It's more social, and I didn't quite understand like the silence inside of the church and all that at first, and then you have this shutdown, and then you're completely cut off, and you're watching it on TV. And I mean, one of the things that drew me to the church was the Eucharist, and then I'm cut off from it. So that was really hard.
That was a really hard thing for us.
But Father Ben did that Palm Sunday thing where we got to come, and we're just so excited to just be in person. And that was hard. That was hard, like adapting to a new culture and then being cut off from it. So it kind of slowed down our process of acclimating. Point where we're just like, I'm tired of TV church. This is dumb.
Yeah. then you don't know if you're doing it right or not.
Yeah.
We're sitting there. Are we supposed to
stand kneel?
Or
am I being sacrilegious?
Nobody knew. It was like we would look at each other. What do we do now?
Yeah.
So
it was weird.
Those are the COVID Catholic days.
Since you've become Catholic,
I'd say it was more separate before.
Yeah, it's a lot. Yeah, we're not even close as we are right now. Not even close. I think once we became Catholic and understood the church more and what it's about and how important it is to have a relationship between us, not just between us, but between us with the church and with God and in our presence. It's really helped us a lot and has drawn us closer. And it's, I'm so thankful for that. I know you are too. We try to pray together every night, every morning. We try to do our daily reading every day together and talk about it, and those things that we never used to do. And that's one thing that we strive to do. Sometimes we skip a day or two, but when we do, it's like, what happened? We're missing something, and you can actually feel that, like we missed it. So
I always felt like before I was the one that was more bought in. And then he got in with the Knights of Columbus and had this group of guys, and that really helped him to be bought in as well. Like, I mean, I have no doubt that we both love the church equally.
Yeah. I think the Knights of Columbus brought into me is the brotherhood that we have, and where we can be open with each other. And it's one thing we strive for now is evangelism, and being able to pray with each other and the coming out of your shell as men with men. It's just, you can do it here. Why can't you not do it at home? So, even when I talk or speak to other knights, it's like, well, we're praying together here. Why can't you pray with your wife? It's one of the things that I always challenge them to. Have you prayed with your wife this morning? Could you pray with your wife this morning? So I think that's a good thing as well.
Which is a really funny story about how he got into the Knights. I was in Incarnation, and when they were having their, where they sell the little nativity scenes and crosses from Bethlehem, and the Knights of Columbus there were all dressed up in their little suits with their little sashes and their little medals and all that. And and I was like, that is sharp. Whatever they are, Terry needs to do that.
Well, I'm doing it now. So. Yeah, so I do have my regalia as well. Maybe we should have wore it today. But I think that's a good thing too. It's a good part of our ministry together as well.
Well, on why be Catholic, I would say because you can have the Eucharist, you can have the Son of God in you, with you physically. You can go to the Adoration Chapel and sit before Him, and that changed my life.
And we could do it together. Too, that's something we do together.
And because Catholicism is the fullness of truth, and it's a privilege to have that fullness. And something I learned from Peter Kraft was, if you are the one that's doubting, go to an adoration chapel and sit before the Lord and ask Him if He's really present there, and He'll answer.
It's just not first of all, is our faith is a lot stronger with each other first. And I think that's our biggest thing there. But one thing we've learned to do a lot better at, and we still try, is to communicate with each other. We do mess up and slip up on that sometimes, but we do communicate a lot more better than what we used to even 5 or 10 years ago. It seems like our communication is better every day. So those are two of my top things.
I would say an acceptance of personality differences. He's super outgoing, and I'm kind of shy, and I don't like to talk or
talked a lot today
before coffee.
Oh, before coffee, yeah.
And he's just really learned that. And I'll tell you what love is. Love is hearing the coffee grinder go off before I even get out of bed.
That was this morning.
I know. I heard it. And so, we're just okay with that now. I used to just kind of hide behind him because he was so outgoing, and he's made me more outgoing, and I think I've maybe toned him down a little bit.
Maybe one notch. And then another thing too, we adapted each other in our lives, like in our daily lives at home and what we do together. Like if we're cleaning up together 20 years ago, I hardly ever cleaned up anything, or we just have this system now where we just automatically just help each other do things. And I think that's
always envision us as starting out as like squares that we're trying to roll. And as the years went on, we just kind of knocked the corners off. And now we're almost complete circles, and we roll much better.
If you're going to succeed in your marriage, you have to have Christ first. You have to be Christ-centered. So, and not just your marriage, but with your family too. And it's tough too, especially with your family too. And our sons, they live in Alaska, so it's kind of harder for us to be with them. But just keep the closeness of Christ first in your lives, and surround yourself with a community that's the same as you are, that has the same beliefs, and that
will support you.
That will support you, yeah. Because the Catholic Church has a huge support system, not just here in our local parish, but across the world. And so I think you can go anywhere, and anywhere in the world, you go to a Catholic church and you know what's there.
And keep up the sacraments.
Go
to Mass. Go to confession.
So, there we go. We were able to do that. Sometimes, most of the time.
I'm just thinking about so used to, the Nokia phones, the little brick phones. Used to, you could throw one of those when you got mad and it'd fly apart and you could put it back together. So now you can't do that. So
we still have that phone. We still have that brick phone.
But I wouldn't throw it anymore.
I don't throw it anymore.
I don't throw it anymore.